What if one of the biggest royal battles of the 21st century was never fought in public? For years, the world believed Camilla's path into the heart of the monarchy was a gradual story of acceptance and healing. But according to royal insiders and biographers, behind palace walls there may have been fierce resistance, led not only by Queen Elizabeth II herself, but by one of the monarchy's toughest and most respected figures, Princess Anne. And if those reports are true, the fight wasn't really about Camilla at all. It was about the future survival of the crown. In the years following the death of Princess Diana, the British monarchy faced one of the greatest crises in its modern history. Public trust had been shaken, emotions were running high, and every decision made by the royal family carried enormous consequences. At the center of the controversy stood Camilla Parker Bowles and the question of how far and how fast her royal status should rise. Today, we're exploring the reports, royal commentary, and historical interpretations suggesting that Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Anne may have quietly opposed rapid changes behind the scenes. Let's get into it. The monarchy was still recovering. The story begins in the difficult years after Princess Diana's death. While the public saw official appearances and carefully worded statements, the monarchy was privately dealing with a crisis of confidence. Millions of people remained deeply attached to Diana's memory, and any move involving Camilla risked reopening emotional wounds. For Prince Charles, the situation was personal. He wanted the woman he loved to be accepted within royal life. But for Buckingham Palace, the issue was much bigger than personal happiness. It was about public trust. According to many royal commentators, palace officials feared that moving too quickly could trigger a backlash powerful enough to damage the institution at a time when it was already vulnerable. That concern would shape nearly every decision that followed. Why Princess Anne reportedly took a firm position. If there was one royal known for placing duty above everything else, it was Princess Anne. Unlike many members of the family who attracted headlines through popularity or controversy, Anne built her reputation through relentless work. Year after year, she carried out hundreds of official engagements with little fanfare and almost no complaints. Those who study royal history often describe Anne as someone who views the monarchy first and foremost as an institution, not a personal brand. And according to long-standing palace reports and biographical accounts, that philosophy influenced how she viewed Camilla's rise. To Anne, royal titles were never rewards. They were responsibilities earned through decades of sacrifice and public service. Reports suggest she worried that accelerating Camilla's elevation might create the impression that royal traditions could be altered for personal reasons. Whether those concerns were justified or not, Anne's focus reportedly remained the same: protect the credibility of the crown. The hidden battle over titles. To most people, royal titles may seem ceremonial. Inside the monarchy, they're anything but. Titles determine rank, status, historical legacy, and public perception. That's why discussions surrounding Camilla's future role reportedly became one of the most sensitive issues inside the royal household. Every word mattered. Every announcement mattered. Every public appearance was carefully planned. According to royal commentators, palace advisors spent years trying to strike a delicate balance. They needed to gradually integrate Camilla into royal life without appearing to erase the public's emotional connection to Diana. The challenge was enormous. Move too slowly, and Prince Charles would be frustrated. Move too quickly, and public anger could explode. The monarchy found itself trapped between those competing realities. Queen Elizabeth's alleged strategy. One of the most fascinating aspects of this story involves Queen Elizabeth herself. According to various royal biographies and interpretations, the late Queen approached the issue with extraordinary caution. She understood something that many people overlook. Monarchies survive on symbolism. Public confidence isn't built only through laws and ceremonies. It's built through trust, perception, and emotional legitimacy. Royal commentators argue that Elizabeth recognized the danger of appearing disconnected from public sentiment. For that reason, every step involving Camilla was reportedly measured and deliberate. Rather than forcing acceptance, the palace adopted a gradual strategy. Camilla would become more visible. Her public profile would slowly expand. And over time, the monarchy hoped public attitudes would soften naturally. It wasn't a dramatic transformation. It was a carefully managed evolution. Charles versus the institution. At the heart of the story was a difficult conflict, not a public feud, not a family war, but a clash between two different priorities. Prince Charles viewed the issue through the lens of personal loyalty. After years of criticism directed at both himself and Camilla, he wanted stability and recognition for the woman who had stood beside him. Others within the institution reportedly viewed the situation differently. Their focus was on long-term survival. They worried about the monarchy's reputation, public trust, and historical legitimacy. In many ways, both sides were trying to protect something valuable. Charles was protecting a relationship. The palace was protecting an institution. And those goals did not always align perfectly. Why Princess Anne is being reassessed today. For years, Anne's reported skepticism was often portrayed as coldness or rigidity. But history has a habit of changing perspectives. Today, many royal historians are revisiting those years with fresh eyes. Instead of viewing Anne as merely resistant to change, some now see her as someone deeply concerned about preserving the monarchy's credibility during one of its most fragile periods. Her argument, according to those interpretations, was never necessarily about Camilla as a person. It was about protecting public trust. And in a world where confidence in institutions can disappear quickly, that concern now appears more relevant than ever. Whether one agrees with Anne's reported position or not, many observers acknowledge that her commitment to duty has remained remarkably consistent throughout her life. The bigger question about the future. The real significance of this story extends beyond Camilla, Charles, or Anne. It raises a larger question. How should a monarchy balance personal happiness with institutional responsibility? It's a challenge that every generation of royals faces in different ways. Queen Elizabeth spent decades managing that balance. Princess Anne built her entire public life around it. And today, the modern monarchy continues to wrestle with the same dilemma. The debate isn't really about titles. It's about legitimacy. It's about trust. And it's about how an ancient institution adapts to a changing world without losing the values that allow it to survive. Whether Princess Anne's concerns were ultimately proven right or not remains a matter of debate. But one thing is certain. The years surrounding Camilla's rise were far more complicated than the public ever realized. What do you think? Was Princess Anne simply defending royal tradition, or was she resisting a necessary evolution of the monarchy? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into royal history, palace secrets, and the stories behind the headlines, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next royal update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.